There's a new church on the horizon, made of light, not of stone, calling out to all creation, you are not alone. Lions and lambs, saints and sinners, best of friends, enemies, woman and man, losers and winners, they are all in you and me. We are one heart, looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all a part of one heart. Oh, and the cold, there are faces hidden by the wind and rain. Hold out your hand, someone will take it, bring you home again. Yes, we are one heart, looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all a part of one heart. Around the world tonight, all the fires are burning, tears are falling from the sky, still the world keeps turning. We are one heart, one soul, one dream we share together. We are all apart. Yes, we are one heart, looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all a part of one heart. Oh, we are one. Yes, we are all a part of one heart.
Isn't that just the perfect way to open a Sunday morning? There is a new church, and we are it. So welcome, welcome everyone to the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. Most of you know that I am Reverend Patricia, and I'm going to be your speaker today. Reverend Sharon is having a well-deserved day off. Housekeeping. This service is going to be recorded and used on our social media to build our community. You're welcome to turn off your video, change your username. We're fine with that. At the end of the service will be a social time, and that will not be recorded. So you can come back, I guess, cognito versus incognito during the social time. We're going to do our traditional unmute and everyone say good morning to everybody with great enthusiasm and joy. At least I will. So please unmute yourself. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Buenos dias. Guten Good morning to all.
Yeah.
Love you.
Namaste.
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 Okay,
Namaste.
let's go back. The theme for the month is conscious or cosmic connections, but today's theme is inextricably connected. Isn't that a wonderful word? It just kind of rolls around in my mouth. Inextricably connected. The practitioner today is Debbie Putnam, and she is our lead practitioner. And I'm going to lead into her with our Tibetan bell before she goes into the invocation. So here we go.
There is one heart, one soul, one presence, one infinite good that is all that is. This infinite good fills all space, fills all time, creates all things, is all things. This pure presence of being is all that is happening right here and right now. There is nothing else. There is simply this movement of good as the presence of God, as the presence of love, as the presence of energy, as the presence of the universe. And this good is the good that is me and the good that is every single person here and every single person who joins this morning and every single person in our community and every single person in our world. And today, this good is now moving through this service as the incredible inspiration and talk and education pouring forth from Reverend Patricia VanWoerkom in the talk today. The absolute goodness of her talk and of our openness to understanding and transformation, that each and every one of us is part of this service actively and practically as we listen and take in exactly what is ours to know, what is ours to do, and mostly what is ours to be. And all of the people who support this service, who are contributing, musicians, Doug with his poetry, Ruth with the projection, the board of directors, and each and every one is now supported, blessed, upheld, uplifted. This is amazing. And so it is. You are welcome to join me, muted, in saying the vision and the mission. We are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Mission: we inspire and nurture personal and global transformation through the teaching of science of mind. Purpose: in joy and love, we connect in service to all life. And next we have our chant, followed by our meditation. And from our meditation, we will go into the poetry of our very own house poet, Doug VanWoerkom. Please join us.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 Sei la luce di Dio. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. L'image de Dieu. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. La luz de Dios. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
And now for our readings. No one ever walks life's road alone. There is ever another who walks with us. This is our inner self, the undying reality, which our personality but poorly emulates. Let us learn to be still and let the truth speak through us, to be still and know that inner light shines. We are in an infinite mind, and infinite mind is also in us. It is by this mind that we think. This mind is eternal, therefore we are eternal. This mind is complete, therefore we are spiritually complete, though we do not appear to be so. Spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, and that our connection to that power and to one another is grounded in love and compassion. And now for our meditation, followed by Doug's poetry.
This is your 3-minute reconnection. Close your eyes and breathe in through your nose for the count of 4. Hold it and breathe out 2, 3, repeat after me. Release. Release. All is well. I am safe. Release. Release. All is well. I am safe. Release. Release. All is well. I am safe. Now imagine a beautiful golden light swirling out of the crown of your head, sparkling with gold glitter as it rises higher and higher above your head, reaching up higher and higher. This is the light of your soul. Now above this light, you see a beautiful white sparkling light swirling down toward your golden light. This white sparkling light is spirit or source. Watch as these two streams of light connect and feel the jolt in your body as they do. Your soul has reconnected with the universe and the energy of pure, unconditional love. As these streams of light mix together, you see them pouring into the crown of your head and lighting up your entire body from within. You feel love. You feel peace. You feel joy. You are this light. You are connected. All is well. You are safe.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday service. The poem this morning is by Mary Oliver, an American poet who has won the National Book Award and the Pulitzer Prize for her work. She passed away in early 2019. She is well known for using nature as her inspiration. And as a side note, my wife just learned the other day that Mary Oliver read Rumi every day for years. That explains a lot. This is called Messenger. My work is loving the world. Here the sunflowers, there the hummingbird, equal seekers of sweetness. Here the quickening yeast, there the blue plums, here the clam deep in the speckled sand. Are my boots old? Is my coat torn? Am I no longer young and still half perfect? Let me keep my mind on what matters, which is my work, which is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished. Let me keep my mind on what matters, which is my work, which is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished. The phoebe, the delphinium, the sheep in the pasture, and the pasture, which is mostly rejoicing since all the ingredients are here. which is gratitude, to be given a mind and a heart and these body clothes, a mouth with which to give shouts of joy to the moth and to the wren, to the sleepy dug-up clam, telling them all over and over how it is that we live forever.
And oh, we do live forever. Good morning. The weekly theme again is inextricably connected. Science of mind teaches that we are inseparable from the divine. Inextricably, I just love that word, connected. Inextricably, by the way, means incapable of being disentangled. Entanglement's one of those words that physicists use when they talk about string theory. They're incapable of being disentangled, undone, loosed, or solved. I love that last one, solved. We are a mystery. We live in a mystery. The image in the guided meditation that we just saw of the two lights coming together, the white light and the golden light, it's presented as if that's a distinct happening. Instead, what it is the original entanglement. That white light symbolizes the divine that is always flowing. And it is inextricably entangled with who and what we are. Sometimes we become aware of it, and that's what that guided meditation I think was really worthwhile for us, to remind us to pay attention to that entanglement that we have with the divine. Again, Science of Mind teaches that we are inseparable from the divine. We are connected to a vast power and love that is pretty much beyond human comprehension, and from which there is no escape. And there's no escape because, as Holmes says, this thing itself is all that there is. That this is true, and that it's an absolute mystery, how entangled we are and how present the one is through all of us, is the mystery that has kept philosophers and scientists busy since the beginning of science and philosophy. So Science of Mind, along with many other approaches to understanding humanity, teaches that it is in our nature to be in community because we are so entangled, because we are so interconnected. And we feel that connection because we are already entangled. Or to use the language of physics, which Sharon uses a lot, Reverend Sharon uses, we are correlated. And that happened before time and space came into being. And we are correlated for all time. Again, this is something that is always there. My prep for this talk began with heading to my textbook, my Science of Mind textbook, because Holmes talks an awful lot and writes extensively about how we are all connected. However, I got waylaid on the way, which was interesting because the books are in the same room, but I got waylaid on the way by a book that I had actually given Doug for Christmas. It's by one of our authors of the book of the month, but it's not the book of the month. It's from Mark Nepo, and it's called Drinking from the River of Light. And it's about the life of expression, a writer's life or a poet's life. But there's one particular chapter called Falling in Love that just struck me. Actually, it's called Love at First Sight. Here we go. So this is from Mark Nepo. So let's consider love at first sight. While this can certainly happen, it is love at first true seeing that brings us alive, despite the numbness and woundedness that tripping about the world can bring. I can see you every day for years saying hello at the office, cordial, pleasant. We find each other. But this one day when I am heartsick because my father is dying and you are too exhausted to keep your mask in place, we see each other deeply and freshly for the first time. And I'm stunned. I never realized it was you. Now, after all these years, we truly meet and love each other completely at first true seeing. This is how we rediscover the world and the mystery that informs the world, one true seeing at a time. As the clouds that hover around our head and heart are unexpectedly blown aside. Isn't that beautiful? And doesn't that ring true? Most of us have had the experience of that moment of true seeing. And if you haven't, keep looking for it. It's there. That moment of connection where there's a sense of being open and available to someone, and they are equally open and available to us. And that's connection. And what else can explain that moment of connection? Our ability to connect that deeply and that truly, other than that we are all one, that we are all inextricably connected. There's a song that we sang last week or the week before about, I look in your eyes and I see myself, that you are a reflection of me. It's not quite accurate. The one that's looking through both of us, we see the reflection of that thing, that divinity. When we truly see each other, it's the divinity that we're seeing that is in all and through all of us. And that's what's connected, and has always been connected and will always be connected. Now that's a pretty, I don't know, touchy-feely, experiential way of talking about this. And if experience is not a reliable way for you to understand the world, and it wasn't for me for many years, so trust me, I understand this one, you can find a guide to come to an understanding of this ability by using logic and the reasoning of philosophy. And as a reminder, philosophy, the definition is the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence. How do we know what we know? What's real? And why are we here? That's philosophy. That's the big questions of life. And they use logic and reasoning to go through this. Now, Holmes and Troward are both very good at this. Holmes uses more poetic and metaphorical language, but he still does what philosophers do. He builds an argument, reasons his way through to conclusions, and then moves on to applications. Now, I love him because he's our textbook. He's the one who got me going. However, one of his biggest influences was Judge Thomas Troward, who was a British judge. And Troward is much more rational and logic-based in his argumentation and his reasoning. Troward will slowly and with great precision and deliberation expand your vision of something, expand your thinking about those big questions, the nature of knowledge, existence, what's reality. He's got two wonderful books, The Edinburgh Lectures and Creative Process in the Individual. And I only have a short time this morning, and I could spend weeks talking about what Troward says. So I'm going to leave that to you all. There are classes you can read. If you want the logic and reasoning, go find Troward. That's not what I'm doing this morning. I do want to go slightly in a different direction and explore a fascinating subject of holons and holarchy. Holarchy was a new word for me. Holon I knew, but not, well, I thought I knew it. I didn't really know it. Holon is a phrase, a word, a concept coined by Arthur Koestler, who was a Hungarian Jewish novelist, philosopher, and political activist. And he says a holon, excuse me, is an entity that is itself a whole and simultaneously part of some other whole. Okay? It's a whole in itself, but it's part of a larger whole. An easy but not terribly precise example of this would be our liver and our body. Our liver has a specific function, and it does what it does. It is whole unto itself, and it is connected to the body, and they work together. Same way, you know, how aspen forests all have the same common root ball or whatever's underneath the ground there, but they all have the individual trees that become the forest. That's the same. Each tree is whole, and it's part of the whole forest. Holarchy. Again, that's a word I'd never heard of. Hierarchy I knew, but holarchy I didn't. A holarchy is an organizational structure much like a hierarchy. In a hierarchy, participants can be compared and evaluated by their position, rank, relative power, seniority, and the like. But it's all based on comparison and ranking them in an order, hierarchy. In a holarchy, each person's value comes from his or her individuality and uniqueness, and the capacity to engage and interact with others, to bring out whatever that perfect individual expression that they are. That's actually a definition by David Spangler, who some of you may know as one of the founders of Findhorn. But I want to say that again. In a holarchy, each person's value comes from his or her individuality and uniqueness, and the capacity to engage and interact with others to make that uniqueness available. Now, in my mind, that's community. That each of us coming in and valuing each other. I think that our vision and mission and purpose echo this kind of an approach to life, this way of thinking. I think this may be a lot of the reason that we're drawn to this teaching, is because we know that we're a holon at some level, that we are a wholeness to ourselves, and that we are unique and individual, but connected, inextricably connected to something larger than ourselves. Think back to that rather messy example of a liver and a human body. The value comes from both what the liver does. It is a unique purifier in the body. It purifies not like the kidneys do, not like the blood does. It's its own unique way of purifying in our body. And yet it doesn't exist without giving itself all of what it can do, its gift, to the body, to the whole. Okay? That's the relationship of holon to holarchy. I also think that when we think of a holarchy in terms of a community, that is what it is what gives us the diversity to be able to adapt to whatever comes. And these days, we need to do a whole lot of adaptation because things keep changing. So it is in our nature to be in community and to feel connected because we're entangled. What we're talking about right now, what I'm talking about, is the quality of that entanglement, how it actually functions in the world. And I think the concept of a holon and a holarchy can surface very well. Richard Rohr, who's one of my favorite writers these days, he's a Franciscan priest, he says, holons create a very fine language for the mystery of participation, for understanding how holiness transmits and how God's life is an utterly shared phenomenon. Now, when you hear the word holy, I don't want you to think of blessed with holy water and all of that. I want you to think of whole, W-H-O-L-E. And listen to this again. Holons are a fine language for the mystery of participation, for understanding how wholeness transmits, and how God's life, Spirit's life, the divine, is an utterly shared phenomena. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? It's not new, also. In the Bible, in Romans 12, it says, just as there are many parts to our bodies, so it is with the divine's body. We are parts of it, and it takes every one of us to make it complete, for we each have a different work to do. So we belong to each other, and each of us needs all the others. That which is entangled within and as itself, call it God, call it spirit, call it the thing itself, source, whatever. It is where we are and who we are always. There's no beginning and no end. Each of us are God showing up just as we are, as a holon, as a whole, complete expression of itself. Divine intelligence continues to flow no matter what is happening in our lives, be it grief, pandemics, sorrow, or happy times. That white light is always flowing through us. Always, always, always. Our initial and eternal connection is always there. There are times when we feel closer to God, be more aware of that connection than other times. Times that we truly see one another, that true seeing. But whether we see it or not, whether we experience it or not, it is always there. We are always entangled, inextricably connected to each other and to the divine, because each other are the divine. The grammar may not be perfect with that, but each of us are the divine. I was taught that original sin is the feeling or the knowing that we are separate from the divine, separate from God. That it's generally been my experience that it's accompanied by a sense of feeling less than, not worthy of. But in fact, it is probably the most blatantly arrogant position we could take. If God is everything, everything is made out of God, how can I possibly think that I can disentangle and extricate myself and be left out of this? I have to be bigger than God, smarter than God. It doesn't work. We are, in some sense, hopelessly entangled. We will never be drawn out. We will never be teased out like from a tangle of yarn. We are inextricably, remember what that word meant, inextricably connected. In these times of pandemic and political polarities, of climate change, and the growing change on our sense of social justice, I think the need to know that we belong to each other is both paramount and self-evident. I think much like original sin, this is our ongoing sin, our ongoing misunderstanding of the world, that we belong to each other. Mother Teresa said, if we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. How much do we need that memory in these times of change? That holarchy, that community that values each piece and comes together and is whole and diverse and adaptable, because it does value what each individual person brings to the table. Take time every day to truly see and fall in love with each other and the beauty of this world that surrounds us. Use Mary Oliver as an example. Heaven truly is in a blade of grass. It truly is in the sand-speckled clam. It's there for our taking. In this time of staying in place, staying in grace, staying in faith, be still and know your connection. Feel your connection to all. You are a holon of the divine. So revel in that knowing. Revel in it. So now, if you would please join me in prayer. If you have a prayer request, you can put it in the chat and we will download that after the service and we will treat on it. But I'm going to know that for all that is held in your heart, for all that is said and unsaid, that this is a treatment for you. In the continuing awareness that there is only one. One life, one heart, one ground of being, one source. And I am inextricably connected to that one, because that one is what is living through and as me. And as I am, so are you. So what I say is true for me is equally true for you and your loved ones. There is a perfect beginning that came out of an infinity of perfection. And I am connected. I am an expression of that singular perfection. And this heritage, my divine heritage, moves through every aspect of my life. It has produced a body, the body clothes, as Mary Oliver said, that fits me perfectly and knows exactly what is needed for total health, vibrant health. It circulates through my life in ways that are abundant in support and finance and love. I am an abundance in this life. I am a source of abundance because the source of abundance moves through me all the time. And this one is the epitome of creativity. This one creates worlds. And so I create my world, my experiences. And I bring my individual gift into this world. It unfolds perfectly, totally supported by the universe. In fact, the universe is conspiring to support the unique gift that I am, to bring it forth into manifestation in all its glory and all its perfection and all of its health. This is the truth. I don't have to create it. I just have to remember it. And so I put this treatment into the law, knowing that it is already done, and I give thanks for answered prayer. And so it is.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God You are the place. Moves and breathes and has We are the place. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God You are the place. We are the place. I am the place where God shows up. I want you to clap your hands and sing it with me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Eddie Watkins, can I have some more of that? Can we have some?
Good morning. This is our offering time, and it's an opportunity for you to give, which is an opportunity for you to receive, because we are in the law of circulation here. So you can give three different ways. You can give through our website at www.sacscsl.org using PayPal or credit card. And you don't have to have a PayPal account. Or you can look for the donate button on the home screen to do that. Or you can give by sending checks mailed to the SCSL mailing address, which is right here on the screen. How does it get any better than that? And please join me in the abundance affirmation. Remain muted, but say it. Actually say it with me. Thanks. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share and my willingness to share it. Being in the flow of the law of circulation, knowing that my gift returns to me multiplied many times over. So it is.
Oh, and now for our announcements. I do know, I'm just waiting for the screen to change. We have our class, the Spiritual Principles and Practice. You can check on our website for that. It is Tuesday mornings, I believe. So please check out our website. And this is me. Wisdom Wednesday, this Wednesday, October 14th, where I get to present part 2 of Heart-Centered Living. I'm just so excited and so honored to be doing part 2 of this. And in this one, I am linking our heart chakra with our root chakra, which is how we manifest. And so if there are times when we're feeling anxious, we're struggling with our finances, we have problems with our knees, our feet, our bones in general, gastrointestinal, I'm having troubles with that word today, gastrointestinal problems. It's all part of that. Or, you know, if we procrastinate, if we're disorganized, we're a hoarder, that is all part of our root chakra. And so we'll be connecting the two of these this Wednesday. And of course, you know, I hope to be sharing some ways that you can help clear and balance it too, so you're just not stuck in that stuff. So please join me this Wednesday, October 14th at 6:30 p.m. on this very channel. And so please continue to check out our website, Meetup, and Facebook page to keep up to date and all the things that are going on, because we are a very lively center where we're always coming up with something to do. Thank you. So please stay tuned for our closing song.
There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. You are my reflection. There is only one.
Yes, there's only one, God is, I am, and we are only one. And knowing we are only one, we are the face of God. We are the messengers for each other. We are now here's my word, inextricably connected. Yes, and I like that word. I'm going to study up on it. But we are only one, and we are connected. We are whole. We are valued. We are loved. We are in the divine dimension of the whole. We are the standing tree that reach under the earth to each other and through the skies. We are really only one. So it is. Stay connected for our chat today and our fellowship.
And prayer during fellowship. In prayer